family. So hear what? You see that sign up there? I want you all to read it with me. What does it say? Let we fix this. Who's supposed to fix this? Now I want you to say it one more time. Who's supposed to fix this? Yes. And I hope each and every one of you understand that we don't mean me. We don't mean Watson. We don't mean Zia or Fali or Baines or any of us by ourselves. We means every single one of us who is sitting here. Every single one of us who is listening to my voice right now. Every single one of you who are viewing on social media. This is a call for we. Allah our way. Allah our way, so people. Your mommy, your daddy, your uncle, your nene, your everybody. Because we need all of us to fix this. Zia spoke about, let me rephrase it, Assemblyman 𝐅𝐢𝐱 𝐃𝐢𝐬 spoke about all of the things that have been wrong with us thus far. You realize that everything she spoke about is everything that has been happening in Tobago over the last 21 years. Imagine that. I am a duly elected assemblyman in the Tobago House of Assembly, and I had to hear on TV, the way everybody else here on TV, that we have a hotel coming. When people call me asking me where the hotel gonna be, isn't that an archaeological site? That is not a place where turtle does come up. I had to say to them earlier, I don't know. You know what that means? We were not a part of that decision. And I promise all you that plenty of them that was in the room, plenty of them who going out of their way right now to try to make you feel comfortable, them that wasn't a part of this decision either. That decision came from somewhere else, across the ocean, letting them know that it had to be done today. They were not a part of it. We have a situation where the airport is happening. Does anybody listening to me know where exactly the airport gonna be? Does anybody know what size of airport we will actually have? Does anybody know the acreage that the actual airport plant will be on? Not available at this time. Even though I live quite upside in Bell Garden. A couple years ago when they started having the consultations, I made it my business to come to the consultations because I wanted to know what they were telling West people. We had a situation where promises were made in this very building, in this very area. And then after those promises were made by the people who we elected to represent us, a man who they said born in Tobago came to Tobago and said he doesn't know anything about any consultation that may have happened. See that kind of disrespect? Telling the chief sec who was there at the time to sit down? That kind of disrespect is what we had to fix. So how are we going to do this? We are going to ensure that all of you, every time we make a decision, and by we I mean the progressive democratic patriots, you should be able to say yes and know that Dr. Faith announcing so and so and so because we already had a conversation about it. We know that it will be here. We know that it would cost this amount. We know that they are sending out the tender at a particular time because we already had a conversation about it. And by the way, if we ever take God out of our thoughts and not have a conversation about it, I want us to be in a particular kind of situation where me ain't getting none of all your no morning work. So you ain't have to frighten to come and tell me, Faith, all you're doing stupidness. That is not what you told us you were going to do. That is not what you promised us. We had to fix this. So how is that going to happen? We are going to ensure that when we say consultation, it is not just a word. It is not just all your come and sit down and we tell you what we had to tell you and then we go away regardless of what you say. That is not the kind of governance that the progressive democratic patriots will do. We want to ensure that every time you have a question, you know that you can go to our website that is run by the Tobago House of Assembly and find the information about that particular thing. We want you to know that if any contract for how much millions of dollars give away, you should be able to pull up that website and say, here what? These were the 10 companies that vie for that contract. This is the company that got the contract, and this is why this company got the contract. We shouldn't have to be telling you, it is not your business, but this is public, this is private business, and it is not your, no. The Progressive Democratic Patriots is insisting that when, on your behalf, we spend your money, you know exactly what is going on. We had to fix this. How does this start though? How does it start? Today I hear he had a man on TV talking about a particular date exactly 2 months from now. That is where I am asking each and every one of you to pay very, very, very special attention. See, Miss Abby Taylor told us at the beginning, now is not the time to forget. They feel we're stupid. They feel we have short-term memory. So they will come for over the next couple, however long, and tell you this, that, and sing as my mother says, sweet nothings in your ear, hoping that you will forget everything that happened over the last 21 years. But on election day, it is probably the single day in the whole land where every single one of us is equal. It doesn't matter how much money you make. It doesn't matter what kind of school you went or didn't went. As long as you are a Tobagonian and that you are over the age of 18 years old, you are equal to anybody else who is a Tobagonian and over the age of 18 years old. And I want you to not waste that privilege. I'm going to ask the technical people to put up a little graphics. And this is a graphics that tells you the importance of we fixing this. In January 2021, the 25th of January, we had an election. Some of us vote. Some of us didn't. And let me show you the difference between those who did and those who didn't. You will see on the screen the voter turnout for the different 12 electoral districts. The one with the highest, Assemblyman 𝐅𝐢𝐻𝒃 𝒂𝒊𝒅𝒏 66.2%. The next one, Assemblyman, political leader, Watson Solomon Duke, 63.2%. The next one, yours truly, 59.2%. You realize what's going on? The next one, Assemblyman 𝐅𝐢𝐱 𝐃𝐢𝐬, 55.4%. The next one, you all realize what's going on. You all realize what is going on. When we come out to vote, you realize the color of them seats. The next one, Providence, Mason Hall, Moriah, 51.4%. The rest of them are coming to yours. Don't frighten. It's Pastor Baines I'm talking to. The rest of them, 50.6, 50.2, 49.7, 47.4, 45.9, and we're getting one to the Pastor Baines, 45.0. By the skin of his teeth. The last one, Boko Mount Pleasant, 42.8. I ain't answering that one. My point is this, You see all of them that down in the 40s and lower 50s is because plenty all you that sit down in here and plenty all you that watching me out there, instead of all you get up on election day, all you sit down home and did nothing. The reason why we are here right now, having to contest a second election, when even up to today somebody calling me phone and complaining that we ain't paid them for January yet, is because plenty of all you sat down home and did nothing. We had to fix this. 2 months from now, the 6th of December, you, your mommy, your daddy, your nenen, your uncle, your niece, your nephew, your brother, your sister, your everybody has to get up. Because the amount of people who voting for them, nobody else ain't voting for them. They're already maxed out. We have seen that over the last couple years. And the only way they are going to go back there is if good people like me and you sit down and do nothing. We had to fix that. I introducing him or you? So hear what? He always talks about the fact that the first couple times, I mean, he says the first time, but the reality is about 2 years. A meeting in the library and, meeting in a corner and meeting all over the place, and he begging me, Dr. Faith, we need somebody like you. You need to be a part of this struggle. And the day I did it, I actually went to Roxborough and heard them launch in Roxborough. Remember that night? By the boatyard. And I want you all, every single one of you, to be thankful that Mr. Watson Solomon Duke got off of his rosy living because he life good, to ensure that he is part of the we that has to fix this thing known as Tobago. It is with absolute honor, pleasure, distinction, I don't even know any more big words, that I introduce to all of you the political leader of the Progressive Democratic Patriots, Mr. Watson Solomon Duke.